Hello everyone, my name is Catherine and this is my channel, All That in a Can of Chips. This is my first video in my summer savings series and it is also my first video like this, so please be kind and please be patient. This is wildly outside of my comfort zone, but I have my notes and a positive attitude, so let's go. So what I did was I took a list of almost every single breakfast food that I could think of and I broke it down into reasonable serving sizes. And when I say reasonable serving size, I mean a single serving of toast is one piece of bread. And there is literally nobody in my house that's going to eat just one piece of bread at breakfast, right? They're going to eat like two. So pretty much everything that I have is adjusted that way. Some things, like a bagel, for instance, there's no reason to double that serving size, so I didn't. However, I made it 2 tablespoons of cream cheese instead of 1 because I don't know anybody who is able to control themselves with only 1 tablespoon of cream cheese on their bagel, because it's certainly not me. So without further ado, I actually put them in order and we are going to start with the most expensive breakfast. We're going to start with the cheapest one, actually. So I am starting my summer savings series with breakfast because it is a huge part of our food budget, especially when the kids get let out for school. So we are going to start our list with toaster pastries. Pop-Tarts cost $2.18 for 8 pastries. So we'll call 1 pack a serving and divide the price by 4. You've got a 55-cent serving, whereas great value toaster pastries are 14 cents a serving. Dollar Tree toaster pastries are 21 cents a serving, and BB's Pop-Tarts are 32 cents a serving. Toast comes in second place at just 20 cents a serving, 2 slices of toast with butter, cinnamon, and sugar. I call it struggle toast because it's really affordable, but it actually gives me fond memories. When my husband and I first started dating, he'd make it for me to eat before work. Using peanut butter or peanut butter and jelly isn't really going to change the price here unless you're being brand specific on the peanut butter or jelly. In that case, you can expect to move this item up on your list a few spots. So a favorite in my house is oatmeal, and this is where paying attention is important. If my kids could get over brand preferences, store brands would be the way to go. The issue is that my kids like the oatmeal with dinosaur eggs in it, and there is literally no generic. So let's talk about it. A box of 10 oatmeal packs from Quaker Oats costs $3.23, which is 32 cents a serving. For me, I'll just buy the great value oatmeal at 16 cents a serving, but for my kids, I'll go to BB's where they sell boxes of Quaker Oats dinosaur eggs for $1.25, and the cost comes down to match my generic price per serving. But because I don't go there often, I buy multiple boxes and stock up to save. Oatmeal at the Dollar Tree is actually 21 cents a serving, which is still not cheaper than purchasing generic oatmeal from Walmart. But you can also make oatmeal a little bit more affordable by purchasing plain oats and adding things like brown sugar, spices, honey, flavor extract, smoothie powder, or fruit. So the next on the list is muffins, and we are definitely not talking about pre-made muffins. The Little Bites muffins cost $3.60 for 5 packs of 4 muffins. It's literally 18 cents a muffin, where you can buy a small bag of muffin mix that requires only water for like $1. You usually can't squeeze a full 24 muffins from one of those bag mixes, so let's say you can get at least 20. We're talking about 5 cents per muffin instead of like a 72-cent serving from the store. We are halfway through our list with bagels and cream cheese, and you could definitely make this cheaper if you made the bagels yourself, because it's kind of difficult to find a good variety of bagels at the low price point that I've written. It's mostly plain or cinnamon raisin, and I don't hate on those flavors, but I'm an everything bagel kind of girl, so I'll just sprinkle some everything but the bagel seasoning right on top of the cream cheese, or I'll use some peanut butter instead of cream cheese on a cinnamon raisin bagel. So there is actually a tie for 6th place, but we're going to start with 2 eggs and toast because it's pretty self-explanatory and there really is something to be said for keeping it simple. Everybody in my house likes dippy eggs with toast. Also coming in 6th place are waffles, which are not like pancakes where you may be able to save a few cents by making them yourself. Even though the mix is the same, it takes more batter to make a waffle than it does a pancake, so unless you're the kind of person who will literally only eat fancy breakfast waffles, the frozen store brand kind are your best bet. So let's talk about pancakes, because in a perfect world, I would be motivated to make pancakes from scratch in large batches and freeze them. I mean, I'd even settle for making the pancakes from box mix and freezing the excess, but this is reality, and pancakes make the list of things I hate cooking along with meatballs and mashed potatoes. Now, brand name pre-made pancakes are $4.42 for 24 small pancakes. Every serving is 3 small pancakes, and those servings are 55 cents a piece. Great value pancakes are only 42 cents for the same serving size. Box mix is going to run you anywhere from $1.68 to over $5, and you'll get roughly the same amount of pancakes from a box of mix, so the potential to save money is there if making pancakes isn't the bane of your existence. At number 8, we have an egg sandwich, which I separate from a breakfast sandwich because I use regular bread and there is no meat. What separates it from the 2-egg breakfast that I mentioned earlier is literally a slice of cheese. At number 9 is my family's favorite, cereal and milk. So a gallon of 2% milk from Walmart is going to run you about $4.67. You'll get 16 cups from that gallon. Each cup is 29 cents. Cereal, we get the multi-meal bags. They are about 24 cents a serving, but I doubled that because my kids eat more than 1 cup of cereal in a sitting. I mean, frankly, they eat more than 2 cups, but we won't get into that. And number 10 is breakfast sandwiches, and I am genuinely shocked at the math here because it is actually cheaper to just buy pre-made breakfast sandwiches than it is to make them at home. Sometimes I'll make Brinner, breakfast for dinner, and I'll use the leftovers to make freezer sandwiches. In that case, you're saving money. Otherwise, this is the most unaffordable breakfast on my list, whether you make it at home or not. And that really did surprise me. I did the math a couple times just to verify that, because I was adamant that it was cheaper to make them at home. So I actually realized that I forgot to calculate everything for French toast, and I'm just going to add it on as an honorable mention. I ran the numbers pretty quickly, and I wasn't really surprised to find that it's not an affordable breakfast whether you make it or buy it. The rising cost of eggs and milk really did a number on our breakfast foods, and French toast is a huge example of that. To buy pre-made French toast sticks, you're looking at 16 cents for every stick. Not every serving, every stick. So a 20-piece box split between my 4 kids would come down to 80 cents a serving, making it almost as expensive as a breakfast sandwich. And I didn't even bother calculating how much it would cost to make French toast because every recipe calls for a bunch of eggs and at least a cup of milk. So I can imagine it's cheaper than 80 cents if you're using store-brand ingredients, but it's still not that cheap. So I am actually going to wrap up on the note of brand preferences. It's okay to have brand preferences as long as they're not your whole grocery list. There is a very steep price difference between brands and store brands, and a lot of times you can't tell the difference as far as the taste goes. So it's important to try and remind yourself that cheap in price does not always mean cheap in quality. That is not universally true. Please remember that. I'm going to continue this series next week with lunch, and I will be posting snack hacks and stuff like that throughout the weeks as I do the summer saving series. But it would be really cool if these posts are not just me sharing information, but if we share information with each other. It would be awesome to see these become a resource for people to help each other out and just do the whole village thing. So on that note, I'm gonna leave awkwardly.